Hey guys, it's me Juliet with duties, and for my first video I'm about to do story time. Um, but first of all, because it's my first video on this channel, it's not my first video on YouTube. If you want to check my friend's channel, it will be in the description below. And the reason why my name is spelled with duties is that I'm French. And I know my accent is so weird, but it's not, it doesn't come from France. I know. I know. I can still do the French accent, you know, I can make an impression of it, but I don't want to because it's not my real accent. So anyways, the first video on this channel will be a story time of the time I met Rap Monster from BTS and he refused to take a photo with me. I was desperate. So that happened in Italy. I was having a vacation there. I went to Napoli, so Naples, and you have the bay of Naples and you have island. The 9th day out of 10, I think. And the 10th day was just us going to the airport and taking the plane home. It was my first time in Italy, by the way. We went to Sorrento. Actually, it's at the end of the bay, so you can go there by boat and you can go there by train. So we went to Sorrento, and Sorrento used to be, I think it's still that, but it used to be a place with a lot of big hotels, you know, with a dozen people taking care of a single room. Very luxurious hotels, and it's very neat. Like in Naples you have certain areas or like where they don't bring tourists because it's very poor and all of that, but Sorrento is very rich, you can feel it. And there is like a limoncello factory, I would say, so they make limoncello, an alcohol with lemon. And basically we were visiting that, and by the time I went to Italy I was not listening to much K-pop anymore. I am listening to K-pop more, like much more these days, but like when I went to Italy it was in October. We had 2 weeks of holidays, so I went to Italy with my mom and a group of people from my city. And yeah, I mean, I was not listening to K-pop much, and even though when I was listening to K-pop like a few months before that, I was not paying attention where in the world my idols were. I was not paying attention of concerts. Of course I was hearing like, hey, a K-pop concert is going to be held in Paris, like I would have heard of it, but I've never gone to any concerts of K-pop. Maybe I will do. I hope I will do. Maybe I will go to like a small concert if I go to South Korea one day. Hopefully I will do. And I was not paying attention of anything. And I was not very like expecting to see Rap Monster, and I did. I was standing outside a very small shop, you know, touristic shops, where you could buy postcards, because we went across that little shop and my mom didn't say anything, and we went to there was a view, there was a point of view, and we just took pictures, and there was a group of Koreans, and that moment there was 2 women with me and my mom, and I was talking to one of the 2 women's about women. English is not my native language, sorry. And I was talking about K-pop and all of that, because she asked me, how did you know they were Koreans? Because I said, oh my god, they're Koreans, and they're not from Seoul, because they had the big Satori accent you have in Busan, like in South Korea. And I was like, they're not from the capital. And they were like, how do you know they're from South Korea? And how do you know they are from the south of South Korea? And I was like explaining that I was learning a bit of Korean, that I loved K-dramas, TV shows, yeah, and K-pop and all of that. And we just went the other way around. We went back to that little shop where there was postcards, because my mom wanted to go inside to see if there was good things for the fridge, you know, magnets you put on the fridge. And I was waiting outside that shop, and then I saw, it's like 1 meter and 80 centimeters, like it's very tall. It was tall, it was blonde, like fake blonde, and Korean. And his face, I noticed his face, and like boom, Rap Monster. So that happened so quickly, in like a matter of a minute and a half. It just passed across me, and I just made a face, you know. I just recognized him, and I was like, whoa. I was shook. And there was an Ajushi and a Hajuma, and they were his parents. And the mom, she was following her son, and she looked at me like she knew I knew, and she knew I knew Rap Monster. And yeah, and so what happened then is like my mom went out of the shop, and I was like, Mom, I just saw K-pop idol, and she was, oh, my mom doesn't care really much about K-pop, but she was like, oh, which one? She was so excited for me. I was very like shook about it as well. Less shook about seeing Rap Monster, by the way. They crossed the road, and they were going to go to the main place in Sorrento, where we had to meet the others of the group we were with. And we were going the same way, so my mom just went out of the shop, and with the 2 women that were with us, we were 4, we just continued the same way, and we were following them. And I was with the woman I've talked to about K-pop, and she was like, ask him for a photo, and I didn't think about asking him about a photo, and I couldn't do it when he just crossed past me, because he had such like long legs that I could not do it. He was far gone. So I went to his level with like not running, but approximately running. And if I could have just walked to him, I would have done it, but he was so tall that so I ran to him and I asked him for a photo, and I was like, hey, can I have a photo? Can I have a photo with you? And he was like, no, I'm sorry. And I know that in BTS, not everyone knows how to like speak English, but I knew Rap Monster had some notions, and I knew by his face that he had understood. And he was not saying, oh, I'm sorry, because he didn't understand. He said, I'm sorry, because he didn't want to take a photo with me. And I had it's not a GoPro, it's a Xiaomi Yi, so it's like a Chinese GoPro, but the quality is the same, basically. And I had that with just a very small tripod, and I was holding it to him like, hey, can I have a photo like with it? And he said no, and my camera was turned on because it takes a certain time to turn on, and it was turned on, so there was a light on it, because when it's recording it's going off and on and off and on, and it was just on. And I had a very small plastic cap on the objective of my camera, so it was not recording anything. Yeah, he said no, and he was so tall that he just and at that time I had vlogged the little place, because we went across that shop like in the first time, so I already vlogged that place. Donc my French is coming back, and I was not vlogging at that time, and yeah, and he just flew away. It's not run away, it's not walked away, it's flew away. It was so tall, and I have no proof of that time, because I didn't do anything. I vlogged a single thing, a single moment I'm going to insert in the editing now.
Je voulais pas non plus filmer son visage quoi.
Bah ouais, ouais.
So as you can see, I have no proof that it's me that has taken that, but please believe me, please, because like I was so shook. And for proof, here is a picture of Sorrento big place, a plaza where we had to meet the others. And here is a picture that Rap Monster posted on Instagram 2 days later, and he was dressed the same way, and it was on an island actually that we didn't visit, but that was very close, so I think he went to that island on the same day. At the end, I was shook of meeting him because I was not expecting that. I was not, you know, feeling sad about anything because I was like, oh yeah, but he was with his parents and stuff, and I was not going to take a picture of his parents as well. Like, I don't know. I mean, I can understand he gets asked so many times for pictures that he just doesn't want, and I was not mad at him. And I was like, oh, maybe he was undercover and he didn't want any picture because he didn't want people to know that he was in the Naples Bay or even in Italy or even on vacation. And I was like, maybe. And 2 days later, I saw that picture on Instagram. But anyway, guys, that's it for this video. I am not sad. I am quite happy I met him. I can't say anything about me meeting him because, like, nothing really happened. I don't think he remembers me. And yeah, I was not expecting that. That was like a small thing that happened in the trip that made my trip even better when it was very good. I hope you enjoyed first video. My accent is very weird and I'm working on it because like it's so weird. But anyway, guys, I remember to do a second video so you can see me again. And yeah, I'll see you guys around for another video. Peace.